Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some major news to go over about the Nintendo Switch 2, more of an idea about when it's actually going to be announced. We also have some new Pokemon rumors to take a look at. There's a lot of stuff to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's go over the new Nintendo Switch 2 information. This is pretty big news because we have a really credible leaker slash insider basically stating a time frame of when we're actually going to see this Nintendo console announced. So we have Stealth here saying, according to Nate the Hate, Nintendo is poised and ready for a Switch 2 reveal in March. The next few months could potentially be extremely crazy. It then goes on to say, he also says that the Switch will be backwards compatible, not something I worried about, but there you go. And then this also means we are getting closer and closer to seeing a brand new 3D Mario game. I'm about to be more excited to see that than the system itself. So this is what Nate the Hate has basically said. It's going to be coming out in March, or announced in March, should I say. It's also going to be backwards compatible. This is basically like the main things that he said. This was a Reddit post kind of compiling all the information. So Nate the Hate thinks the next Nintendo Direct will be a partner Direct with no general Direct in February, and then believes the Switch 2 reveal will come in March. So key bits from the latest episode of his podcast, trying to stick to what leans more concrete sounding and not so much the speculation about more granular hardware details. So this is his exact words. So I'm going into the first Direct of the year with the expectation that there's going to be a partner Direct. So obviously we covered that in yesterday's video, I believe, where we went over that it's probably not going to be like a first party Direct and instead it's going to be like a partner mini showcase. I don't think Nintendo will host a general Direct this February. I think they're going to do third parties instead. He's previously stated on Family Boards that I know the exact form of the Direct and what to expect from it. So here he's saying like, I'm expecting it to be a mini, and then previously in the past he said, I actually know the format of the next Direct, I know what's going to be expected from it and stuff like that. So him here saying that it's, you know, most likely going to be a partner Direct probably means that it is going to be a partner Direct, because previously he said that he knows the format of the next Direct. So I don't know if he forgot that he said that or not, but he already knows what it's going to be, and the fact that he's saying, oh yeah, I think it's probably going to be this, means that it is probably going to be that, because he already knows what it is. And then he also goes on to say, after hearing whispers last year about something in March, I am of the belief that March is referring to the reveal timing of the Switch 2. Switch 2 reveal seems as though it's very likely to occur sometime in March, and that was pre-GDC. So we also have had credible leakers in the past saying that they expect the Nintendo Switch 2 to be announced before the end of March. Now we have Nate also saying, you know, most likely also going to get announced in March. We do have Mario Day in March the 10th. It is on a Sunday this year, so does that kind of coincide maybe with them not announcing on that day? Maybe it's like the week after or something like that. So maybe mid-March could be when they announce it, but either way, it's looking very likely that we are going to be getting information about the Switch 2, the reveal of the Switch 2 in March. So it's a Nintendo Direct mini partner showcase next week. It's the Presents, is it the Presents the week after? It's not the Presents the week after, so the next week, which is again very likely going to be on the 15th, that's what we covered yesterday. So the 15th of February is the Nintendo Direct Mini. The week after that, nothing's happening. And then the week after that, on the Tuesday, the 27th, is Pokemon Day. So that's when we're going to get the Presents. And then after that, like any time, we could be seeing this Nintendo Switch 2 announced. Suspects backwards compatibility is a factor in doing a partner Direct, now a general later. So he thinks that the backwards compatibility as to why we're getting a mini now and then obviously a main Direct later. So the reason I believe that it is the Switch 2, I think, will have backwards compatibility. By holding the next general Direct in June, May, whenever Nintendo opts to drop one, there is now no risk in showing you the current Switch games with Switch 2 games because everything would be playable on the Switch 2. So backwards compatibility obviously is a massive thing, and I feel like it has to happen. Like, there's no reason as to why it couldn't have it. Like, obviously you have it on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, like that's backwards compatibility. We've had it on like a lot of Nintendo consoles as well. The only ones that haven't had it, I believe, are like the GameCube and then also the Switch. Because obviously on the Game Boy Advance, you could play like Game Boy games on that. On the Nintendo DS, you could play Game Boy Advance games on that. On the Wii, you could play GameCube games on that. I don't know if you could on the Wii U. I never owned one, but yeah, the fact that like all of these other consoles have had backwards compatibility, and there's already so many Switch games that are probably not going to get kind of remastered for the next console, means that it makes sense to get a backwards compatibility function. There's also been rumors in the past as well of there being a kind of digital version of the Switch 2 and a physical version of the Switch 2, just like we had with the PS5 with like a disc version and a discless version. So it might be similar to that. If that's the case, I'll still go for the physical version because it just works out cheaper, plus I like having the physical games. But that is also something that could potentially happen, and obviously if they do a digital one, that's got to have backwards compatibility. Otherwise, you can't play all of these old games. So either way, that's kind of some more information about the Switch 2. We also have Necro here, also kind of just posting about this because they also contacted Nate. So since last year, Nate Drake, a better-known insider with a good accuracy regarding information about Nintendo's plans, had commented on March 2024 being a month of news regarding Nintendo's next hardware. In the most recent episode of the podcast with his predictions for Nintendo in 2024 and later in his appearance on the Game and Talk podcast, Nate stated that he expects the successor to the Nintendo Switch to be revealed at some point during the month of March. So aiming to solidify this statement, I contacted our sources who corroborated the report made by Nate Drake about March, adding that multiple development companies / publishing partners of Nintendo are preparing to announce their projects, and that several retail stores are moving to prepare the start of pre-sales of the system. So far, Nintendo has not officially commented on the existence of the new hardware and its reveal or launch window. Stay tuned for more news. So I think it might even get leaked, to be fair. If like all these retail stores are like moving to prepare for like pre-sales and stuff, it's probably going to get leaked, like images of it and stuff, before it actually gets announced, because that just, like I say, that is literally just, there's going to be more and more people that find out about it, and one of those people is just going to leak everything. So but yeah, that's all the kind of leaks about the actual console of the Nintendo Switch 2. We actually have some more rumors to go over as well about what games we could also be seeing. So this was tweeted out by Kotaku saying Switch 2 is getting Persona and more Sega games, a leaker claims. So they also claim remakes of Persona 2 and 4 are in the works. So a week after Persona 3 Reload's launch, rumors are floating around that the remake and several other Atlus and Sega games may be in development for the heavily rumored Nintendo Switch 2. But that's not the most interesting rumor. The source also claims that long-term fans who have never been able to play the original Persona or the Persona 2 duology may get to try spruced up versions on Nintendo's next console. So these rumors come from leaker Midori, so MBKKSSTBHZ5, who has previously leaked details about the Persona 3 Reload and claims that Sega plans to release the original game's playable epilogue, The Answer, as DLC. Midori now states that Sega and Atlus will be revealing several of their games on the Switch successor at this year's Tokyo Game Show. Persona 3 Reload and Metaphor Refantasio will supposedly be among them, alongside new Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi games. In the midst of all this Switch 2 talk, Midori has also claimed that remakes of the original Persona, the Persona 2 duology, and Persona 4 are in the works at Atlus, but not all will be in the same style as Reload. There's no information yet on possible release windows, reveals, or platforms, but if Sega and Atlus are planning to bring the first two Persona games to modern systems, that's a big win for fans who haven't been able to play those older games. These days, the easiest way to play either game is on PlayStation Portable or Vita through backwards compatibility. Even then, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, the second game in the Persona 2 story, is only available as a PlayStation Classic outside of Japan. The game was remade for the PSP in its home territory, but that updated version was never released in other countries due to the Atlus described as unusual circumstances. These games have gotten so difficult to play that a lot of Persona fans have never actually gotten around to them. This hasn't been helped by Atlus' hesitance to acknowledge either game, which may be because they're very different from what's considered the modern Persona trilogy. Specifically, they lack in social elements and have become synonymous with the series, but still hold a special place, yada yada yada. Right now, the Switch 2 is just a series of rumors from different sources, but all signs point to a 2024 launch. So, if you are a Persona fan, you are gonna be just gifted with so many games for the Switch 2. Again, maybe coming this year, maybe coming next year. We don't have a release window for it, but either way, a lot of Switch 2 stuff to just get excited about. And like I say, it's probably going to be like the first year is just going to be remasters and remakes and stuff that get placed onto the Switch 2. and then like the major games maybe coming around like the holidays or maybe like 2025 or something like that. But either way, a lot of stuff to get excited about. So that's all the Switch 2 stuff. We now have some Pokemon stuff to cover. So the first thing is that we have a Cerebi update. The special short, Good Times, Good Dreams, has been uploaded onto YouTube by the Pokemon Company in Japan under the name I'm Home. So yeah, if you haven't watched this yet, make sure to go and watch it. It's a really, really cool little like clip, and it's now easy to access as well. It's on the Japan YouTube channel as well. It's called I'm Home. So that's that, and then we have some rumors to go over as well for Pokemon Day 2024. So this is the first one. It's called Leak Pokemon Day 2024, posted by Anonymous. It says, let's go. This is what will be revealed on the 27th, so obviously Tuesday, the 27th of February, Pokemon Day, Pokemon Presents, yada yada yada. Of course, these are rumors posted on 4chan, so take them with a massive grain of salt as always. Haven't been confirmed to be true or not, but most likely fake. But either way, let's read on. So, classic games on the Nintendo Switch Online. I don't know what they are referring to as classic games. I don't know if that's just Gen 1 or if that's Gen 1, 2, 3. Like, even Gen 4 is like classic now. I think anything like DS and then like before, I think would be known as like classic now. So like Gen 5 and before that, I'd say is classic. Like Generation 1 and 2 are like obviously extremely classic. But like, I don't know, I feel like if you've been out for like 15 years, I'd say that's a bit of a classic really. And obviously Black and White are going to be out for 15 years next year. So yeah, it could be any of those. I don't really know. They just say classic games. I'm assuming they mean like the Game Boy games, but you never know. And then the second season of Pokemon Concierge, I'm assuming would be obviously dropped on Netflix. Again, Pokemon Concierge was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Got really good ratings. I could definitely see them doing another one. And yeah, I don't think it. I mean, stop motion obviously takes a lot of time to make. I don't know if that's going to be taking longer than actual animation. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm assuming they've seen the reviews and seen the results of Pokemon Concierge and probably want to fund another series at least. They then go on to say, obviously, if Miraidon is in Pokemon Unite, Koraidon will be. They will announce his debut date that day along with another mythical. So, I don't know if another mythical they're talking about is the Gorilla Pokemon or the extra mythical that we're going to see in Generation 9, or they're just talking about another mythical like Mew that's going to be in Pokemon Unite, so maybe like Celebi or something like that. They also say that Koraidon is also going to be announced as well. Miraidon has also been data mined. Koraidon hasn't been, but yeah, it would be weird to have Miraidon and not Koraidon. Like, we have Mewtwo and Mew and stuff like that. So, next up, Pokemon Concierge game. I don't know about that. I think if we get a Pokemon Concierge game, it like has to be a mobile game. I don't think anybody's going to be buying that as a game on the Switch or something like that. Also, like, what do you do in it? Do you just have like an island or something? And then Pokemon Concierge clothing pieces on Pokemon Go. I could see that happening. Like, there's very easy things to implement into Pokemon Go, and that could be one of them. New film, Pokemon Horizon. Satoshi will not be in this film, so obviously Ash. Film teaser. The film will revolve around Terapagos and Ogerpon. I mean, why? Like, Terapagos and Ogerpon have nothing to do with each other. Obviously, Ogerpon is all about the Teal Mask with Petulant and the Loyal 3 and stuff. You know, Terapagos is all about Area Zero, like Okidogi, Munkidori, Pheasantipity, Ogerpon, Petulant. They have nothing to do with Area Zero. I don't know why you'd make a movie about those when they have completely different storylines. But, you know, it is what it is. They then go on to say, Let's Go Ho-Oh and Let's Go Lugia. Nothing very different from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Don't expect much, so I'm assuming that it'd just be like a very faithful kind of version of Johto just as a Let's Go game, just like we got in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. They then say Pokemon Black and White 3 will take place 10 years after Black and White 2. It'd be better if it was 15 years, because then it would actually like keep up, or like 14, 15 years, because then it'd actually keep up with the actual timeline of the real world. Like, we had Black and White 15 years ago next year. So it'd be cool if it was like 14, 15 years later in the future. Just like we got Black and White and then a couple years later we got Black and White 2, and that was the kind of time jump. So it makes sense for them to do it again, but like 15 years, and it would also allow all of the characters that we saw in the Indigo Disc to be available in this game as well. Unova is an open world. It will have Unovan forms and new evolutions such as Durant's evolution of the Steel and Earth type, and also the pre-Heatmore evolution as well. I kind of want to see a pre-evolution of a Pokemon. I feel like we've not had one in a while. I don't think, anyway. They're then going to say many new characters, new places. You are the son/daughter of the protagonist of the second game, and your rival is the son/daughter of the first protagonist. You join forces against the son of N, who thinks that your parents were somehow responsible for his father's death and now seeks revenge. That's actually a pretty cool story, to be fair. I like how it brings together all the characters and stuff. The teacher is Bianca. Now an adult and older, you will discover that everything has changed in Unova. And then at the end of the presentation, a black screen is displayed with a mysterious cry in the background. Water, fire, and plants appear on the screen when the final phrase, how much do you know about this world? So, yeah, I mean, as a Black and White 3, I like that. I like that it's open world. I like that it has returning characters. I like that it actually still keeps, like, certain aspects of certain characters. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I think that'd be really cool. I don't think a few of the other things, like, you know, does that mean that Ilka would be making Let's Go Ho and Lugia? Because I don't think there's any way they bring out Let's Go Ho and Lugia and Black and White 3. And then also who's working on the Pokemon Concierge game as well. So that's also something to think about. But that's the first rumor. The next rumor I wanted to go over today, it's not a very long one. It was posted on the 6th of February. It's just titled Pokemon Legends. So it's set in Kinai. Kini, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Formerly Johto, I'm assuming that is. You are a member of the Watch, led by Handsome/Looker's ancestor, Inspector. I'm assuming this has been like translated or something, because obviously the English isn't great. The Watch protects Kinai from attacks by wild Pokemon. I mean, this just very much sounds like Game of Thrones already. Like the Watch, like it's literally called the Watch as well, like the Night's Watch. Kinai is flooded by Lugia. Your character is revived by Ho-Oh to save the world. The art of Pokemon catching / training is forgotten and only you remember it. So, wait. But you're not transported back, so how would you remember it? Like, how would it be? I'm so confused about this. Like, it says the art of Pokemon catching training is forgotten, but only you remember it. But you, how would they forget it? You know, I don't, like, surely they would carry, like, why would they use, like, catching and training Pokemon as a thing, forget about it, and then it becomes a thing again in the real world? That just makes no sense. Like, they would just advance catching Pokemon like they did in Legends Arceus. Anyway, it says gameplay similar to Legends Arceus with added strategy plus tower defense elements. So a lot of stuff about like tower defense stuff like in Pokemon. I think that would make a really good mobile game. I don't think we really need it in like a main series game, but I think I would really like to see a tower defense Pokemon mobile game. I think it'd be really, really good. The starters are Snivy, Torchic, and a Gen 10 starts Pokemon. It looks like a water/bug, so that also makes absolutely no sense. Sorry, I got something in my eye. That makes absolutely no sense. Why would they drop a Gen 10 Pokemon in a Generation 9 Legends Johto game? Literally no reason to do that. I mean, Snivy and Torchic, yeah, they're pretty good options if we were going to get a Legends game, but there's no way they're dropping a Generation 10 Pokemon, and it just absolutely makes no sense at all. And then reveal later this month, Spring 2025 release. So, yeah, I think this person just really likes Game of Thrones, and they like Johto. This has to be, like, super fake. Like, there's no way this is true. Obviously, there's always that 0.1% chance, but this just sounds super, super fake. So yeah, I don't think this is true. The other one, I mean, I can see elements of it being true. Like, I can see, like, the Unite stuff, Pokemon Concierge getting a second season, obviously the Black and White stuff, but there's also a lot of, like, plot holes and loopholes and stuff in this as well, so I don't know if this is going to be true either. But either way, let me know your thoughts on these two rumors. Do you think either of them are true or not? But if you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really, really help out. Of course, leave a comment about all the things we went over today. What are your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 updates? Do you think we are going to be seeing it in March? And also, do you think we're going to be seeing, like, some big games for it as well when it is announced? Or do you think that's just going to be, like, remasters and remakes and stuff? Let me know your thoughts on all that. Of course, let me know your thoughts on the rumors as well. But, yeah, that's everything from me. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.